welcome back to our channel. We're the Garza Twins. I'm Britta.
And I'm Carly.
We would love it if you would subscribe down below if you like beauty reviews, get ready with me's, lifestyle favorites, book reviews. It's kind of our jam. Today we're doing our May favorites. Our monthly favorites videos are like some of our favorites because we know they're old school YouTube, but but we love filming them. So let's get into it. Okay, talk about a throwback. The Vanicream moisturizing cream has like slowly crept back into my life. I needed a nighttime moisturizer.
Me too.
I usually go back and forth between the Versed Moisture Soak and what's the other one we like?
Well, just like the Vanicream, or no, do you not use that?
No, there was no at nighttime. There was like another
The
one.
Naturium? Marshmallow Bomb?
No. There was two that I was going back and forth on purchasing. The Versed and then another one. I can't remember what the other one was. And I do really like the Vanicream one, or the Versed Moisture Soak. I would recommend that. But you know, we're gals on a budget these days.
Well, and last time I repurchased it, I did repurchase it recently, and it like burned my skin. So I think my skin was just in such a bad place. Because I do love that moisturizer, but this doesn't burn.
Yeah, and so I was like, I just need something cheap and effective. And then I remembered that I used to love the Vanicream moisturizing cream, and it's honestly a joke at this point because our whole regimen
routine is
Vanicream. I used to use this size for like traveling, but it's actually like a perfect size for face cream.
Yes, I used to only buy the tube,
but like traveling for body cream, like I never really used it on my face. But
I got it for my face. I used it years ago, back maybe in like 2018, 2017, and I loved the tube, but then I wanted it quickly and I ordered it on Amazon. They only had this larger size, but I think it's like $13 for a pound of product. Like, it's so much product, and it is the best nighttime moisturizer. It's exclusive because there's petroleum in here. It's the second ingredient. It's like a lot of not natural stuff.
Yeah.
If that bothers you.
Yeah, we obviously don't care because we just want something that will moisturize and form a barrier and keep our barrier healthy, and this does that. It's not comedogenic too, I should say. It has never clogged my pores, even though it is quite thick. I feel like it's one of those moisturizers that you do have to really work into your skin because it can form like a white cast when you first put it on, but just keep working it in, and it just like feels hydrating on the skin, and it really seals everything in. I can't say enough good things. I love it.
My favorite nighttime moisturizer, if I could afford it, is the Dew Skin one. I love that. I've repurchased it twice, and I will say that that's like my all-time. So if you have the finances, that one is amazing, but this is like so good on a budget.
It's so good and so cheap. So yeah, if you are looking for, and obviously fragrance-free, we primarily only use fragrance-free skincare, but we are just all Vanicream these days.
Okay, I finally got new sunglasses. I've been talking about it forever because my previous Lisbex sunglasses were 5 years old and they actually really held up. But now when you have new ones, you realize like how bad the hinges were. Like they were going to fall apart shortly, and I still love those ones, and I still get so many compliments on how they fit my face shape, but they don't make that frame anymore, unfortunately, so I had to get a new pair. So I got the Out of Love frames from Lisbex, and they're like their 90s style. They come in like 10 different colors because I think it's one of their most popular style, and I love them. They look so 90s, like 90s supermodel, which I love. I almost got the brown because I loved the like light brown color. I just thought it was so unique. But then I thought about like the 90s and I'm like, oh, I have to get black. So I really love them. I can't figure out if they're polarized. They seem to be a little less,
I would say on the website,
protective as my old ones, but they're more tinted. Like there's more of a blue tint to them. So either way, I definitely don't notice like the sun bothering my eyes with these. And I think I got them on sale too, yes, but they're good quality. Like I said, my other Lisbex lasted 5 years and they didn't even break. Like I still have them, so that's pretty amazing.
We normally don't put food favorites in our monthly favorites. They go in like our weekly, but I had to mention this because I literally use it every day. It's the Primal Kitchen original buffalo sauce made with avocado oil. So it is vegan and gluten-free, paleo, keto. It has all these claims right here, and it's so good. I use this as a salad dressing of my like salads for lunch. So we'll do like kale, chickpeas, avocado, pepperoncinis, red onion.
Spinach too.
Yeah, Carly does spinach, and then I use this as a dressing. It's so good. And then we've been making these like tacos where we use siete cassava tortillas, iceberg like shredded lettuce, and then I roast like the cauliflower and chickpeas for like an hour at like 425, and then you toss it in this sauce, put it like make the taco and then top it with some ranch. So good. I feel like there's just several uses for this, and I go through like a bottle a week. It's pretty expensive. I'm hoping that they have it at Costco and I can get it there in bulk, but I haven't been to Costco in years. So if you like a spicier sauce, but it's not too spicy, it just has like some spicy but good flavor, and you want something like dairy-free, gluten-free, paleo, like healthy, check this out. Okay, a couple makeup favorites, I'll just talk about them both quickly. The Beauty Pie Awesome Bronze Gorgeous Sunkissed Bronzing Cream in Goldilux. I've been talking about this non-stop. I love it. I'm going to do a whole review video on here because I've previously only done it on TikTok and Instagram. But it's definitely like super creamy. It is a little dewy. I thought at first it dried down, but it definitely leaves a sheen on your skin, and it looks really like pigmented in the jar, but it's not. I would say it's actually pretty sheer, like sheer to light coverage. But what I love about it is just that it's like it really is like a bronzing cream. Like I feel like it almost leaves like a watercolor veil of bronze wherever you put it. Like I can just like dab it on everywhere and blend it out, and it just looks like summer. And like I feel like this is my perfect summer bronzer because it just looks so natural, but like you still look sun-kissed. I have it on today. When I want more of like a oomph, I'll add a powder bronzer on top. But I love this for like no makeup days, for days where I just want to look bronzed and natural, which is most days actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say that because of the texture, I feel like other bronzers that I have that dry down more and are a little more opaque, they don't like catch on any like skin texture. But I will say this one, because it's like thinner and more emollient, any like dry patches, it doesn't really like lay down as well, so it can look a little patchy. But I look past it because I've never really experienced a formula like this. So I really love it. I think it's so good, and it's like $20 for 30 grams.
Yeah, wow.
Which is crazy good deal. And then my lip liner, I bought this during the Sephora sale, but I was unsure about it, but now I've worn it like every day this month. It's Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. It's nothing new. This has been around forever. It's just good. It's like a cool toned nude lip liner. I will say I used to own Pillow Talk, and I thought it was way longer lasting than it is. It doesn't last as long as my Victoria Beckham 02, which is still my favorite, but that one's a little more pink. This is a little more brown. So I've been loving it again for the summertime, just to like essentially what it's meant to do, like contour your lips. And I wear this with like bold lip colors. I wear it with nude lip colors. I have it on today with a nude, but I've also worn it with like a red because it kind of just like adds a shadow to make your lips look fuller. And it really has like a softening line effect too. It's a really good lip liner. I know what all the hype's about now. Okay, and then my favorite makeup product this month is definitely the Glossier Almond Eyeshadow Palette. I've used this almost every time I've gone to do my makeup, and we were just in San Diego, and this is the only palette I took because it's so good for travel. Like sometimes I can't bring my little palette where I have all my individual shadows because it's just too big, and this one is like easy to pop in any makeup bag. And I actually really like both of these shades. I use the glittery one more so. It's a little bit brighter and like more fun, but I really like the satin one as well. It's a little bit deeper and more bronzy, whereas this one's more of like a rosy gold, I would say, or like has more rosiness to it. But they're both beautiful. I like the matte shade. I really can't say enough good things about it. I don't know why, like I feel like everyone should own this. It would look good on everyone. It's just like a good small neutral palette, and it's really affordable, so highly recommend. And we'll insert swatches of all this stuff. Okay, random favorite, but I was using a microfiber hair towel to like dry my hair after I wash it for years, probably like 10 years, and I just recently came to the conclusion that like my hair is naturally pretty wavy and borderline curly, besides the front pieces that are very damaged, so they don't do much. And I always knew that like people that are on their like curly hair journeys and trying to like smooth out their curls use like old cotton t-shirts instead of like a towel to like drain the excess water. And so I just had the idea, I was like, I don't know, maybe my towel is what's causing my hair to be so frizzy lately. So I looked on Amazon for a cotton hair towel, and this one is by Solaris, and it's 100% Turkish cotton made in Turkey.
and I just used it this morning. So I will say that like it doesn't dry as quick as microfiber, but I've noticed a massive difference in my hair. I've used this for like about a week now, or maybe I've used it 3 times. I probably had it for like 2 weeks, and my hair feels smoother. It doesn't look as frizzy. It doesn't feel as damaged. It's crazy how much like a hair towel can make a difference. But I don't know, I've just noticed such an improvement. Like I feel like the microfiber was just creating friction against my already damaged hair and making like my hair way more frizzy. And I mean, it looks a little frizzy now, but I'm sure you guys can recognize it. It used to look way more frizzy on hair washing day. And the only downside is, like I said, it doesn't dry very quickly, but you can just throw it back in your like washer or dryer, you know, to dry it. And yeah, I hope it lasts a long time. That's the only thing, is I just got it, so I don't know if it's as long lasting as like a microfiber, but I assume it will be. And I actually like how it is like you put this part in the back and then you roll the front and then put it in, adhere it to the back, and it like stays in pretty good too. So I will say, if you have really long hair, I don't think it would work for you, because I feel like I could still use it if my hair grows a few more inches, maybe 1 inch, but if it gets any longer, I think it would be like it's a little too small for really long hair. Okay, and then my last favorite before we get to books are these jeans that I got from Walmart. I've been talking about them a lot, so I won't stay here long. They're by the brand Trendyol, and they're just black, like mom style jeans. They have a tapered leg, they're finished at the hem. They're like a just stressed or like faded black, I would say. They're 100% cotton, so they're very rigid, there's no stretch. They're super high-waisted. I can't say enough good things about them. I'll link the reel down below where I did the try-on of all the Walmart jeans that I got, but these are my personal favorite. I do have all of them, but I wear these ones the most, and they just wear really well. They're comfy, they're flattering, and they're like $30. So if you're looking for some cotton denim, I think that they are perfect. Okay, book talk time. 2 amazing books this month. I'm gonna go first, but I have Britta's too. So The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. It's their newest book, and it is my new favorite Christina Lauren book, which is big words, I know. I know Love in Other Words has so many lovers to it. But my favorite always, along with Love in Other Words, was The Soulmate Equation. Yeah, I love
think
that
it's
one.
so underrated, and I always love that. And this is sort of like a spin-off of The Soulmate Equation. So if you read that book, Fizzy was Jess's best friend in that book, and this is like her love story. But Jess and oh my god, what is his name? River from The Soulmate Equation are constantly in this book. Like they're, you don't have to read them one first, but they're always in this book. So if you know their characters, it is more fun. And her daughter Juno, she's a frequent character in this. So basically, Fizzy is a romance writer, and she's kind of like in this lull. She hasn't been dating and she hasn't been writing, and so she's sort of stuck, and she's like venting to Jess about it. And then we meet Connor, he's a documentary producer for this network in San Diego, and they task him with producing a dating show because they need money and they know dating shows are so popular. And he feels like he has no choice because he says like this is the only place to work in San Diego where his daughter is. If he loses this job, he'll have to move back to LA and be away from his daughter. So he takes on the task even though it's not his MO, and he discovers Fizzy's romance novels through his ex-wife, and she like raves about her, and she's like, oh, she's an amazing author, and he has the idea to put her as like the lead in this show. So I thought the show was going to be a huge part of the book, which is why I wasn't super excited about it, but it wasn't. And the actual parts of the show were actually so fun to read. All the guys that they have on the show were like fun to learn about, like great guys, all different characters. And the show part was fun. It was like a good secondary to Connor and Fizzy's love story, which was definitely at the front of the book in like the main plot line. So you just see them going from like not really liking each other to co-workers to best friends and then to lovers. I don't think that's spoiling anything. But as you can imagine, that leads them both in a predicament because she's supposed to be on the show finding the love of her life that he's producing. So it has such a good ending, and I think they're my new favorite book couple. Like I loved them together so much. I love that she was 4 years older than him, and it wasn't even mentioned. It wasn't even brought up as like,
Well, how do you know then?
well, their ages were mentioned, but it wasn't even like,
it wasn't mentioned that it was like a big deal or like that it was even like anything. I know 4 years isn't a lot, but I feel like other books would like, oh, like older women, younger men, and it was just, it is what it is. I loved how he is as a dad. I think it was like a really good, I don't know, book to describe being a single dad. I feel like we get a lot of books. I mean, not a single, like she has a mother that's also in the book, but like, you know, like a divorced dad. I feel like we get a ton of books with divorced moms or like single moms, but not a lot from a dad's perspective. So I loved that. There was so much I loved about it. Just read it. 5 out of 5 stars. So good, and I was shocked by it. I thought we were blessed by Happy Place this year. We're gonna talk about it next. So I was like, no matter what I read this year, like I got Happy Place, like a good book year. But I've had some great books I've read this year, and this one is my number 2 under Happy Place. Yeah, so Happy Place was my favorite of. I must have finished it in May because I didn't put it in last month. Sorry,
Yeah,
it's like, I think Happy Place.
so blowing me out.
I think Happy Place is gonna be my favorite of the year.
Well, The Running Grave comes out in September, so
what's that?
Forever.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
I feel like that might be my favorite. But yeah, Happy Place, it's like takes the cake for. I mean, it's so good. I don't want to stay here long because we talked about it at nauseum, but it's about Harriet and Wynne. They meet in college and they are part of a core friend group of 6 friends that all live together in college. They move to New York City after college. Harriet and Wynne start dating, and then it's 10 years later?
Yeah.
10 years later, they go to their happy place, which is their friend's cabin in Maine, like a small town in Maine, to celebrate their friends' nuptials, but they don't know. It's like a surprise wedding type of thing. And they have to pretend to still be together even though they have since broken up for their friend's sake. And so it has really heartbreaking moments because they feel like they always want to be together, but they just had these issues that like they couldn't work through essentially.
They were just young and didn't know how to communicate.
Yeah, I was gonna say mainly communication, but I want to say this is not the miscommunication trope because I hate that. That can ruin a book for me.
Yeah.
It's not like they miscommunicated. They just didn't really know how to like communicate their feelings properly and fully.
But she dives in so deep as to why.
Yeah.
And I think that like seeing people's backgrounds and like the trauma or like things they've been through and like why they are who they are is like a really beautiful thing, and we don't ever get backstories like that. It's just sort of like, oh, this person's messed up, and like Emily Henry in this book like goes through all of them, all 6 of them.
Yeah.
Like, and you really learn like how they became to be. Well, I feel like one of the guys didn't get a lot of time, but the rest of them do. And it's not even just a love story between them, it's a love story between
Their
like
friend
your
group.
friends.
Yeah.
And we are people that value our friendships like more than anything. And we have friends that we would call like family, which is what they like are in the book.
Yeah.
And I think that it was just like a beautiful gift of a book to like describe what being in your early 30s is like, and like with
And
friends
basically
and
how you grow
relationships.
up, but you like hold these friendships so dear. So even if you're at different places in your life, like you will still always prioritize those friendships that like mean the most to you, and relationships, all relationships really, but like that almost like your friendships are just as important as like a romantic relationship. They have like sibling relationships, and here parent and child relationships, like every relationship is tackled. Yeah. And I mean, we both cried, and yeah, it was beautiful.
It's a beautiful, beautiful book.
And it does have a happy ending. I was like, I'm going to hate this if the happy ending.
I thought we were headed towards like a not happy ending,
but it does, and it's a beautiful story. Emily Henry's best book yet, by far, in my opinion.
I've always wanted all her books to be movies, and they are.
Yeah.
But this one's so new. I don't think she has a movie deal yet. But this one, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
What a movie this will be.
Yeah,
I know
it has to be.
Yeah, I know she'll get one because
especially
of
it must
her
be
other
easier to shoot a movie that takes place in one location.
I was thinking that too. I mean, there is a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah.
So they would have to do a lot, but not as much as people we made on vacation. I'm so curious how they're going to shoot that movie, and that's the first one out of the gate. So I don't know, we love Emily Henry. Emily Henry fan club over here.
Yeah. As a person, she seems amazing.
She's from Michigan, she's from Ohio, lives in Michigan, from Michigan, either way, Midwest gal.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching our May favorites. We know we had a lot, but thank you for sticking with us. And as always, let us know what you've been loving down below.